Alright, cool. I think we're live. Hello guys. Hello. Good morning, good evening, wherever you are. For those who don't know me, my name is Layla. I'm one of the streamers here. And today I've prepared this little project for you to work on. For those who know me, I'm back. I haven't streamed in a while. I know. I've been busy over the Christmas break period, and also one of my monitors broke, so I had to figure out that. So, today, for some of you guys, this character might be known. Her name is Zeri. I believe she is one of the champions from League of Legends. And a bit of a backstory why I'm sculpting her was because I was a bit late to it, but end of last year, my partner and I, we watched Arcane, and I absolutely fell in love with the art style, and I felt like I needed to contribute to the art of it by creating like another character that wasn't part of the show in the same art style. Okay. So we're just gonna start now. I see more people coming in. By the way, let me know if you can hear me well, if I'm too loud, if the music is too loud. And just say hi in the chat. And we're gonna get started. Nice. Thank you, noble designer. Yes, it's clear. Great, thank you. Hello to Steven Anderson stream on this. I know, it's one thing that happens on the channel, that the previous streamer's name gets transferred to the next streamer's name, but it gets fixed after the stream is done. My name is Layla. You can see my name over here. I mean, to that side and down. On the screen, Layla Viscu. You can follow me on Instagram, by the way, if you haven't seen my art, or you can just check it out. Good evening, that's awesome. The sound is crystal clear. Awesome, thank you. Hello. My dream is to learn ZBrush. Well, why not? New year, new you. It's never too late to start. And it's a great dream. Is that Zeri from League of Legends? Yes, it is. Hello, what's on the stream today? Hello. So today we're making... Oh my god. Excuse me, I'm gonna be a bit slow the first 10 minutes because I recently switched my keyboard for a smaller, more ergonomic one, but my brain just won't work with it because of habits. The layout of Control, Alt and Command, or Alt and Function, basically like those three buttons that you use for ZBrush are different. So I'll accidentally hit the wrong one. Nice, Siri, yay! She's OP. I followed you on Instagram, your work is beautiful, thank you so much. My last work. What do you mean by that? Hi there, ZBrush is awesome. Yes, it is. I guess I can show you guys what I've got on the other screen, just so you can see. So these are the artworks that I'm inspired by. I don't want her to look exactly the way she looks in the trailers. I'm going for a different look, closer to this concept art. I really like her facial expression. Not sure if I'm gonna be able to make the whole weapon and stuff. Maybe. I'm not too into hard surface modeling, but hey, it looks good, so might as well. Today I'm thinking we're gonna focus on the jacket, a really cool jacket of hers. And some of her hair. Cool green hair, she probably eats a lot of salad. Sure. That can be a theory. Some Zon salad. The underground city is called Zon, right? I need to brush up on my League of Legends lore. When I was watching the show with my partner, he would like tell me all the stuff about different cities and who those characters are. But I just forgot. Okay, let's... Oh, okay. Oh, I'm so not used to this. Forgive me. Okay. Oh, portfolio. I didn't share the link. Sorry, yeah, the links are disabled in the chat, so I can't see them and I don't think anyone can see them. Hey Steven, I'm product and asset designer. I want to be a character designer. Sorry, my name is not Steven, it's another streamer here. My name is Layla. Steven is a cool dude who streamed before me. Are we going to work on ZBrush 2023? I currently don't have that version. I'm thinking of upgrading. I've seen some cool stuff. Like the slime tool. Sorry. Just gonna bring down the music a bit. This is blasting in my ears. Yeah, I'll see if I'm gonna get it. Because I'm on perpetual license and I bought 2022 last year. Don't know if it's the time yet to get the new version. But it looks cool, and the masking tools and the zero mesher, all of the features looking great. So I'm learning anatomy. I can make skull now, gorilla and human one. Any suggestion? Well, that's great. Maybe move on to facial structures. So the skull is a good base, but maybe you want to learn the way the muscles of the face work, the fat folds and whatnot. Everything that sits on top of the skull. Steven isn't here. Yep. How start freelancer? I've done some things like artist modeling. It's so hard to find job in country. There are some, well, I'd say build up a portfolio first of 2-3 solid artworks you're proud of. Get some feedback from your friends who do the same sort of thing, like 3D. Oh. Pardon. I should probably fill them up with something. Like this. You see, she's dressed now. Yeah, start by making a portfolio and then apply. Portfolio is the key. Everything I learn, I've done alone. Yeah, it can be hard. Zeri. Yep, you're right. I don't have friends who are professional artists to help me. There are Facebook groups that you can look for where artists give artists feedback. And if you ask nicely, most of the time people will respond and give you feedback. Going to an art school is also an option if you can. I know it can be expensive. Okay, so oof. Let's get her sleeves going. They're about this long. Which tablet do you use? It's Huion Canvas 22. Okay, and the way I like to make clothing is not by extracting it, by rather duplicating the original mesh, deleting all the levels. Ctrl W to create a group. Here you go. And now delete hidden, which I have on my pop-up menu. Now I'm just gonna run a few polish by groups so you can see it smooths out the edges. For some reason I found that ZBrush works better when I do that, when I have smoother edges on my model. Information engineer, I graduated. Thanks for you answering and helping. No worries. Yeah, I mean, you don't need to specifically go to university for this. You can learn most of... Like, I learned ZBrush not from university, but from watching streams. Actually here on ZBrush channel. Wait. Oh yeah. I'm streaming simultaneously to Maxon and Pixologic ZBrush, so wherever you're watching. Okay, so nope, it's not what I'm trying to do. Okay, we're just gonna inflate it a bit. Where's the series school jacket? It's coming. That's what we're making right now. And before we start working on its proportions, obviously it's much more puffier than that. I'm gonna quickly run a zero mesher on it. Yep. Now there is too much information and new tools. They simply will not have time to add them to the university program. Yeah. Sometimes curriculums do tend to get outdated really fast. But some basic rules still apply about how to create your own portfolio, how to land your first gig. Yeah, me like you the same. I learned from YouTube. Great. Okay. Hello, hello. Alright, let's get into it. I'm gonna select the move brush with the back face on. If you don't know where the back face mask is, it's in brush modifiers. Nope. Auto masking back face mask. And what it will allow us to do is to pull from sort of the edges based on your camera angle, I believe. Hello, what do you prefer, job or freelance? For a good future in long run, where should I focus? Depending on where you are in your journey, I would recommend getting a office job first, learning the ways of the industry, and then start doing some freelance on the side. And if you're confident that you can constantly manage your budget and that you don't mind kind of like being more in charge of your life in terms of where the money comes from, because freelance is not always stable. You need to always make sure that you have a next gig lined up and the next gig lined up, and it can be like one project can last for a month, the other can last for 3 months. So it's a bit of a gamble, but it gives you creative freedom on what you want to work on. So it's really up to you, but I would recommend getting a more of an office job first and then transitioning into freelance if you want. How you feather the mask. So let's select something. By control tapping on the mesh, it will feather it. Same if you invert it. There's also another trick. Let's say I want a really big chunk of it to have a really feathered mask. So you go really far away from the model, and then you do something, and then you come in and you see it's really blurred. If I do it here, it's not gonna be this blurred. it's easier to see on higher subdivision levels, but kind of get the gist of it. Your advice about getting a job of freelancing is really great. Answer, Layla. Thank you. What do you use for time management? My brain. Sorry. For time management. I don't know. Just a calendar on my phone and writing down notes in my notepad if I need to get a lot done. Nice tips. Sorry, about the brain, it was a joke. It just caught me off guard a bit. Yeah, I'm gonna draw a few zero mesh lines. Zero mesh that. I want a cleaner edge on the inside area. I'm not getting it, but that's alright. Gonna quickly go. Actually, I'm gonna save. Haven't saved in a while. I'm gonna delete this poly loop. Oh, by the way, for the longest time when I was learning ZBrush, I still am, but like for the longest time, I could not wrap my head around how does the logic of zero mesher works when it comes to deleting stuff or like selecting stuff, because I couldn't notice that there is actually a cursor appearing above your selected element, whether that be an edge, a point, or a face. This orange line will determine which way it will delete it or polygroup it or whatever action you have selected in your menu. So I would delete it, and I would like secretly hope that zero mesher gets which direction I want to go. And so many months later, I realized there is actually logic to it. Oh. So yeah, don't be me. One more and I stop spamming. Give you space for work. You can link Facebook group with artists who can help me with what you tell. I don't know if I can link stuff. I only know one, and I'm not sure if it's beginner friendly, but you can check it out regardless because people give feedback there. It's 10,000 hours or 10k hours on Facebook. It's a 3D group, and maybe you could type in something similar like 3D artist community feedback or like 3D beginner artist feedback, and we'll give you something. Man, her jacket is huge. And I don't want to make her look big. But it's a really baggy jacket. So just bear with me as I struggle to get the proportions right. Lol, my brain, yeah. 3D modeling, texturing, rendering, rigging, animation is good grip for that without what? Ah, that's the name of the group. Cool. Yeah, guys, if you have any recommendations, just drop them in the chat. If you have any communities on Facebook or Discord where artists can share their artworks and get feedback, that'd be awesome. Do any of you guys play League of Legends? Do any of you know Zeri? She's a new champion, well, relatively new champion. Is that right? Also, she's got this hood going on. Man, it's such a cool jacket. I'd wear that. Thanks, you have nice work. Thank you. Yeah, she's one of the most broken champions in the game. Very strong. Okay. Good to know. I picked her because she had so much personality on the artworks. I had no idea what kind of champion she is. Also, I did a quick Google search after finishing season 1 of Arcane, and some people speculate that she might come in the second season of Arcane. She can be like another character that joins the team. So that would be awesome. And I mean, her green hair. When I saw it, I'm like, wow, I've got to sculpt it. It's so cool. Can you blame me? Arcane was a very good show. The talent is amazing. Are you gonna upgrade to ZBrush 2023? Are you happy with 2022? I haven't tested any of the 2023 options yet. I might, because there are some really cool features like the masking tool, and ZBrush has iterations now, and I use ZBrush a lot and I mask a lot, so very well might be. But we'll see about that. For now, 2022 is fine. But if you're thinking of getting ZBrush right now, you're just gonna get a newer, even cooler version of it. So that's a win. It was a French studio that made Arcane, yeah. Yeah. It was Fortiche, I believe. A French company in collaboration with Riot Games. But they were the main production company, I believe. The ones who actually animated it. But obviously, Zeri as an IP belongs to Riot Games. And all the characters in Arcane also belong to them. Very talented studio, very talented. Can we make fiber mesh into a 3D printable one? I actually don't know. If you can convert fiber mesh into geometry, then you can, for sure. Give me a second. I know there is a way to generate curves from fiber mesh to bring them into like 3D software of your choice. Hey Layla, hello. Well, I can't give you the answer on the spot. Let me research about that, and on the next stream I'll get back to you. But from my first few searches, I can't find a clear answer. But I'll look into it. It's just that I never really use fiber mesh in ZBrush. I do all of my hair in Maya. Like actual hair. Is Arcane a good series? I couldn't get past episode 1. I actually really loved it. But also had people tell me that they couldn't get past first to the second episode, that they thought that the story was boring. And it's okay, it's not for everyone. But I was just fascinated with it. Like the story of two sisters. Oh, so good. And it's so interesting how they tied two champions that weren't initially sisters, I don't believe. They are. Vi and Jinx. Yeah, I truly enjoyed the show and I would recommend getting into it. But hey, if you didn't like it, it's okay. I took out Zero Mesh Legacy though. I did? Sorry, I need to catch up on all the new features and updates in 2023. As I said at the beginning of the stream, I had a long break from ZBrush and sculpting. Due to me just needing mental break from sculpting and also one of my monitors breaking. Avatar 2 is amazing. It is indeed. I went to the cinemas to see it. Actually, a couple of my friends worked on it. For those who don't know, I live in New Zealand, and Avatar 2 visual effects were, well, I don't know if primarily, but majorly, they were majorly handled by Weta Digital, a huge VFX company here in New Zealand. So a couple of my friends worked there. And it was really cool to see their names at the end. Felt so proud. Newbie question, what does Zero Mesh do and what's it for? It's just for some sort of like small changes on the mesh regarding like the actual components like faces or points, or hard surface modeling if you're starting from scratch from like a sphere or from a cube. It's just for adding edge loops, deleting edge loops. So right now I'm using Zero Mesher to do various operations on the mesh. As you can see, just it's a more of a traditional modeling tool. It is very helpful. Whoa, guys, you're so active today. Let me sculpt for 5 minutes and then I'll read all the questions out loud. Just want to get some stuff done today because, yeah. Also, I didn't start the sculpt on the stream. I started it last year and I still feel very passionate about this project. That's why I really wanted to finish it, and the only way I can finish it, because I have a full-time job as well, is by sculpting with you guys. Also, it would be really nice to finish it before the second season comes out. Oh, sorry. I read the question wrong. ZRemesher, not ZModeler. Those Z's at the beginning. ZRemesher is a really cool tool that I've been using from the day one in ZBrush. It's for recalculating your topology. Basically, that's it. So let's say, you see how dense my wireframe is on the sleeve and how loose it is here and how dense it is here. So I basically want to equalize it. So I say I want to have 1.5k of polygons per side, because that's what it's gonna do if I have symmetry turned on. And then I hit ZRemesh, and you see, kind of equalizes the whole thing. I can even bring it down if I want a lower subdivision, but sometimes it gives me errors, so it's a bit of a trial and error with it, but it's a really, really helpful tool. There is looking... Oh, someone actually knows how to convert ZBrush into geometry. Select the ZBrush and go in geometry under reconstruct subdiv, so you have the option convert BPR to geo. Cool, I didn't know that. Zeri is looking clean. How long did you spend on this character so far? Not long. Basically, it was... I don't know, maybe like 6 hours? Yeah, around 6 hours. Just because her pants didn't take long, although I did struggle a bit with these thingies on the side. She has so many intricate details in her design, and I love it. It's gonna be hard though. Okay, so she's kind of got these sections. On her jacket. Yeah. Oh wow. How am I gonna do that? Alright, I'm gonna show you guys real quick. So I was modeling it. And then I realized that she's got this flappy thing at the back. And of course I'm gonna make it, so there's a potential that I'm gonna split the mesh in two and gonna treat it as two separate objects. Just explaining some of my thinking. Whoa. Okay, I want to learn as I'm a beginner and interested in ZBrush and also Maya. Yeah, just pick a stream, pick a concept for yourself, or follow with the artist who's sculpting, and yeah, just get started, get into it. It will get easier the more characters, the more props, the more stuff you sculpt. You mean ZModeler? Yep, I did mean ZModeler. Dynamics helps well with clothes, it makes good folds. It does, but in this case, it doesn't. Because of the nature of the dynamic tools in ZBrush, creating very realistic folds, and for stylized characters most of the time, it's more of a stylized look with really bigger, bolder folds. So I don't tend to use that when I'm working on something stylized. I was writing on Twitch, so I guess none was looking, but for the one who was asking about converting fiber mesh. Oh yeah, true. Sorry, because I have a chat that shows me all the platforms. For those who couldn't see it, select fiber mesh, and I was just gonna copy and paste it. Let me know if you can see it. It's just the answer from Giacomo. Sorry if I'm butchering your name. Okay. For texture and character and asset, any recommendation? I mainly use Substance. For texturing, I like to create a rough base in ZBrush with like poly paint. I actually prefer painting in ZBrush, like pure diffuse, just because of the way it blends the colors. I find it to be more intuitive than Substance. And then I bring this base into Substance, and that's when I overlay different materials and different like surfaces. I'd say don't use too many materials unless you have like a really complex characters with like everything: fabric, gold, copper, steel, I don't know, transparent like glass. Then don't overkill with it, because I know how it can be. There are so many cool pre-made materials that you want to play around with, but it doesn't mean that they necessarily work for whatever you're creating. Okay, I need to catch up because you guys are very active today, which is great. I have such a hard time figuring out how to create a bow ribbon. I usually, if you want to get it like 100% real with like the actual tie, I'd recommend using Marvelous Designer, because you can create like actual bows with geometry on the inside and like tie it there. But in ZBrush, it's really easy, really. Just gonna quickly detour, guys. Maybe for like a few minutes. The way that I would create it actually would start from make poly mesh. I'll scale it up, scale it down, maybe just like so. And now I group by normals. Can be found in polygroups, group by normals. I'll select this edge, this polygroup, delete, hidden, and we've got one side of the ribbon already. Let me bring the gizmo. Oh man, I have a really raspy voice today. Wonder why is that? Okay, let's give it some dynamic thickness. So it was here. I brought my gizmo here. And then you click on the cog, do taper. Actually, I guess it doesn't matter where your gizmo is, but I taper it. Okay. Okay. Now I would add something like kind of the idea is this, of like creating something nice, like really clean for the actual ribbon, and then the middle part I would just sculpt manually. Just Google search some good images of the bows or the particular bow that you're trying to create, and then just you append, or even with a curve strap tool, going in like so. Oh. And you kind of got a bow. Obviously, it's not perfect, but you kind of get the idea. Select the 5 dimension, go in geometry. Yep. Okay, there are some really good answers in the chat as well. 6 hours, that's fast. Started from a sphere. No, actually, I had like my own made base mesh for female. In terms of like this body, I had something. Obviously, it got modified along the way. The face is from the sphere, yep. But the body I already had from another project of mine. Are we going to do Cinema 4D texturing today? No. It's really far away from being textured, because it's missing so many elements. Oh no. I'm a student of a game artist and it's very difficult for me to ZBrush, but I try. Keep on trying, keep on following different tutorials. It's difficult when you don't know any of the technicalities and like hotkeys. Gets better though. Hi, I'm learning Houdini. I mean, a round of applause, because I know how hard Houdini is. I actually started out with Houdini. It was one of my very first softwares that I touched. Oh man, that was hard. Will you marry me? Sorry, I have a partner. Papillion. What's Papillion? Sorry. Thank you for sharing. You're welcome. How do you work out face proportions? I line up with a concept that I have, and then I do my best, because usually this concept is just from one side, and then I just try to work out the way the 2D artists painted their shadows and highlights to see what kind of nose and what kind of cheekbones the character has. Like for instance here, I did some research, also do your research, that's very helpful. I found out that Zeri is actually either half or inspired by Filipino girl. So her nose is very cute and kind of like a button, a bit flattened nose. So I should make it a bit actually less protruding. And like very defined nostrils. It's really important. Full lips as well. So doing research, analyzing concepts. If it's an existing character, get more than one concept, but nothing that contradicts one another. So don't get two different fan arts that are completely two different interpretations of the same character. It can be really confusing for your brain. Yeah, so face proportions. Doing a couple of studies could help. Sculpting just basic female heads and male heads. Figuring out where everything lies on the face. Hi, I'm learning Houdini too. Oh my god, guys. Hard but so interesting. Whoa. Yeah, I mean, bravo. Research is key, guys. It is. Papillion is French for butterfly. That's what they call the ribbon you made, butterfly knot. Oh, right. I should have known what papillion was. I have like a poster in my apartment with like, you know, like an atlas with a bunch of butterflies. And for some reason it's in French and has papillions on top of it. Oof. Okay. And 50 minutes in, and I've been talking so much and not making a lot of progress. Let's split it the way that I wanted to. The way I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna duplicate this mesh, hide the other one. I'm gonna subdivide it. First, I'm gonna add a supporting loop here. Maybe here. Maybe here. Subdivide it a couple of times. 3 is enough. And now I'm gonna do so I'm gonna create this triangle that she has. Kind of like the same mesh. Now Ctrl W again, select it, and delete the rest. Now, what we should have is this. And here I would go in and maybe delete auto groups. It will create 2 separate groups. Click Ctrl Shift click on the mesh that you want to keep, and then delete hidden. Now we have 2 parts, but this one is obviously not looking great. So how about we select this area and do polish by groups a couple of times. It's looking smoother, but still not there. And now zero mesh it. Oh, yikes. Okay, maybe a bit up. That's not too bad. But it could be better. Yep, it's kind of better. All right. And that's kind of what we want. Just need to bring it down a bit. Oof. So this jacket is very angular. So I need to keep it in mind. Actually, no, it's around here. Okay, that's better. Hello, hello. Hi, sorry if it was already answered, but what do you think about AI taking over 3D artist's job? I'm now finishing my diploma after a year of studying and feel really depressed about it. Thank you. I don't see how AI is taking over 3D artists' jobs yet, at least. And I'm not too worried about it because, yeah, I think I've answered it before on the stream, but it was a while back. So basically my take on it is, yeah, sure, it's a cool tool. I feel like they're gonna get in trouble for what they're doing right now. Basically, I see a lot of, unfortunately, ArtStation and Instagram profiles and Twitter profiles of people pumping out so many artworks using Midjourney and DALL-E and whatever, based on other people's art styles. So they like train an algorithm based on someone else's portfolio, and then they create like hundreds of art pieces and they post them, and some people don't get it. This is very unfortunate, but I don't think it's gonna get unnoticed for much longer. Like with the whole ArtStation protest happening last month and them taking measures to ensure that people who don't want to see AI and don't want to have anything to do with AI don't have to, and that your artworks don't get stolen. I think there are gonna be lawsuits regarding the use of AI and who can use it and for what commercial purposes. I do see it being used as a concept tool on the very early stages, but even so, I don't believe it's ever gonna get to the point that 3D artists are gonna lose their jobs because a tool can fully model and fully texture in 8K with the director's vision in mind. Like add all the little imperfections and change the face proportions, and I don't know. Basically, I don't see how it will create a final product that could be used in big productions for animation industry or film industry. As a stepping stone, sure. As a final product, no. Do you have tips for portfolio? Yes. Less is better. And what I mean by that, if you have 2-3 artworks that are very strong, keep them. If the rest are not as strong, take them down, or at least archive them and come back to them maybe later and bring them up to the standard of your skills right now. There's nothing more disappointing than going on someone's ArtStation profile. Oh, not disappointing, but like it's a bit of a like sad feeling when you're seeing an artwork and you're like, wow, that's amazing, I want to see what other artworks this person has created. And you see one artwork that's good, another artwork that's good, and you're like, oh wow, that's so cool. And then something from 5 years ago when you were like modeling a sphere and a cube and I don't know, some sort of tutorial that you followed, and you decided to keep it on just because it's more artworks, but it actually brings down the level at which you are seen by the viewers, whether that be employers or other 3D artists. Just keep the level somewhat consistent. Been struggling with cloth wrinkles and folds. Any tips or even tutorials to follow? Are you trying to create stylized or realistic? Come back to me and I'll answer. AI is just stealing art from 3D artists and creating its own art. Yeah, it's a touchy topic right now. A lot of people are bitter, well, or right up upset, and it's understandable. Again, I don't think it's gonna just go away unnoticed. Like, they're just not gonna get away with that so easily. And I really don't think that big companies are gonna use AI right now because they have reputation to uphold. And using something that might be infringing someone else's intellectual property, or like stealing intellectual property from other people, big companies are not going to do that. Some startup companies that don't have money to pay like actual concept artists, they'll do that, sure. But someone who truly understands what AI is at the moment, they won't use it. At least for the moral reasons. Okay, AI is just stealing art. Sorry, I'm French, but can you explain me to retopology to objects in ZBrush, please? Retopology to objects. Do you mean like to, oh, sorry, to mash two objects together? Or can you please elaborate on that? Do you want to combine two objects together? AI is taking over concept artist's job, not ours. Well, not at the moment, but I've seen some patents of AI creating 3D models. They are very janky at the moment, but it's a start. They're going somewhere with it. Is 2 characters enough for freshers portfolio? For freshers, you mean for beginners? Yeah, it's a good start. 3 or 4 would be better, but if they're 2 solid characters, yeah, I mean, it's a good start. Read artist, it's putting photo, no 3D model. There are 3D model AI generated 3D models. I've seen them. It's 2 characters. Okay. Version 2021? No, 2022 at the moment. Thanks for your answers. You're welcome. Great work. Thank you. Stylized wrinkles. Yeah. What I do is I just grab all the artworks from ArtStation that I like, where there are really defined folds, and then I just follow it. Like this one, for instance. Maybe not this sharp, but it's kind of what I'm going for with this character. Also, it's also a League of Legends character, not part of Arcane though. Yep, so finding good reference is key. Give me a second. Alright. Which brush did you use for the hair? I think I used a couple of different ones. Yeah. I don't remember. Might have been this one. Might have been this one. Could have been the one built into ZBrush. All the ones that I'm using, you can just Google for them. This one is AH Air IMM. Most of them are free. Free to use. Something like that. Why is it not grabbing it? Okay. Can you explain why the jacket is separated right now? Yeah, the reason is because of the concept art having two very defined like parts of it. I'll end up combining them together later, but for now it's much easier for me to control one part separately and another separately as well. And then if I need to, I'll just mash them together later on. But yeah, basically this part sits on top and the other one sits at the bottom. That's why. How long have you been using Cinema 4D? I don't use Cinema 4D. Never have. Awesome, thank you. You're welcome. Zeri from Lowell. That's right. What about holy count? What about it? Can you be more specific? Ah, you mean about the jacket? Or what do you mean? Have you ever encountered problem with isolating polygroup by selecting rectangle and it's isolate not only the one you're clicking on but also other ones you don't want to? By select rectangle. Like... Okay, so there's a polygroup and I Control Shift tap on it. Yes, I know what you mean. If you click on the point that connects the two groups together, it will grab two of them. If you click just on this, it will only grab this. But if I click on the two, like an adjacent point, it will grab both of them. So it might be what's happening with your model. Nice, thank you. Will help my character. You're welcome. Oh, see, thanks. Great. What about Blender? Do you use Blender? No. I used to. When I just started out. It was my first ever software in 2014. A lot has changed ever since. And no, I don't use it anymore. I use Maya. It's a great tool though. It improved a lot. There was no sculpting. Well, no, you couldn't really sculpt back then very well in Blender. Hello, hello. Do you know a way to mask lasso without getting polys on the opposites of the model? Backface masking doesn't work. True. I would usually turn up perspective, Control Shift, and select the part of the model that I want, and then just because it's the fastest way. So just hiding whatever I don't want to get masked with Control Shift and dragging. But I don't know what you mean. Well, yeah, lasso tends to do that. Way to not do it. Yep, back face mask does not work. I'll see if there's another way, but yeah, if I were to do that, I would just Ctrl-Shift-Select what I want. Oh, my bad. What program is this? This is ZBrush. I've been using it for 5 years or so. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's ZBrush. I didn't know how you could do things like this. I did not know it could do things like this. Yeah. It's a really cool program. How many polygons are all over the model after every topology? Ooh, it depends whether you're working in games industry or in cinematics, because in or just film and animation, they all have different standards, so it depends where you want to work. I'm not really too familiar with the exact poly count because it will depend on the model. I can just tell you that this can be acceptable for films, and this can also be acceptable for films. It really depends on how much detail you want. More than that, and that would be an overkill, I reckon. So this is kind of like the maximum I would use, probably. For a piece of clothing. I missed the first hour. Did you start from scratch? No, this character I started on my own. In my own free time. I had a bit of an intro at the beginning saying that I just really want to finish this project because it's a passion of mine. I really want to texture her in an arcade style, so she'll be like flat 2D character. But I don't have enough time on my own to do it, so I would be really keen to do it with you guys here on the channel. So that's what we're doing. And this stream, to be honest, ended up being more of a talking one than sculpting. Okay, what should we do next? The sleeves are in place. We need her collar. Alright, so extrude mesh border. Okay, so let me read it again. Thanks a lot, you're awesome. Thank you. Evgeny Petroma. Thank you. Yep. Cinema 4D sculpting toolset is horrible. Is it? Sorry, I never used Cinema 4D. Oh, that's a great tip. Thank you. Thank you, Jern. Thank you for asking. Hope they fixed that so it's at least comparable to Blender right now. I see there are wars of software starting in the chat. Blender's better. No, Cinema 4D is better. Maya. 3ds Max. Oh, what happened here? Did I delete this thing at some point? Okay. This won't do. So, a tip. You've deleted something accidentally and didn't notice it. Yeah, right around here. So just gonna redo it. That's not really a tip. You could possibly duplicate the mesh at this stage and save the color. Like this. And then come back on the other mesh and stitch them together. But for me, it's just easier to redo it and pay attention to what I'm doing as well. Okay. To go fast, just mask lasso what you want, then turn the mesh alt also what you don't want. Yeah, that's an option too. J Hill started for a game ready model. It's acceptable to have between 50 to 200k triangles after retopper for a game. Yeah, if it's a really nuanced character, then totally. What's the weather today? Weather's good. Another good tip, thanks. Excuse me, I love her. Thank you. You mean Zeri? Yeah, she's great. You're welcome. I need to have an option to turn off backface selection though, like camera based in Maya. Yeah, I'll do a research on that and I'll get back to you guys next stream. Just need to write it down so I don't forget. What days do you stream on this channel? So, I usually stream Mondays, or for my Western viewers, it's Sunday. But basically, you can check out ZBrushLive.com calendar to see when I'm streaming. Usually it's every Monday. I just had a break over the Christmas holidays and I didn't stream. Great work, she's awesome. She looks like a Fortnite character. What style would you say this model is? Right now, it's my style, but it should be closer to Arcane, because that's the style I'm going for. She'll have sharper features on her face later, I think, and on the model itself too. And a lot of like sharp edges will come from texturing as well. What did I do? Oh, I'm rendering it for some reason. What was the best way for studying for you? Who do you consider to be a great mentor on YouTube for you? Michael Pavlovich? Michael Pavlovich is great. For me, I just really like cute stylized stuff. So it was Oля Anufrieva. She is one of the streamers here as well. She goes by Helga, but it's spelled He7GA. So hell, I don't know how, but I'll just show you. HE77GA. So like this. Her stuff is really cool. And Michael Pavlovich is great if you really want to pick up all the functionality and squeeze all the functionality out of ZBrush. That's the way to go. And then Shane Olsen, obviously. And Polygon. Another cool dude. His name is Ben. That's how I started creating characters. Just by watching their streams or like sculpting with them on their live streams. Or do you have another YouTube channel? I have another YouTube channel, but it's currently abandoned because I mostly stream here. Ew, 3ds Max. Hey, don't start it. Some people love 3ds Max. And I don't get it, but I respect it. Will there be any problem on armpits in the character when baking? Good question. Will there? Well, I hope not. Plus, I rarely ever use any AO, ambient occlusion, for my texturing. And even if I do, I can always manually clean it up. Okay guys, let me work for a little bit, because yeah, we have half an hour left and I still didn't do anything. So it seems. And then I'll answer your questions. I wanted to create the color again, just to show you. That's what it looks like. It's got really cool metal pipes going through it, so that's gonna be fun. But how am I gonna do it? No. No. That's what I was meaning to do the first time, and I didn't. Alright, so we've got some sort of color going on. Gonna add a loop. Now I'm gonna do something like this. I'm gonna straighten it with dynamics. So it goes a bit more upwards. Now, just gonna select this point and then polish by groups, just so it keeps it straight. All right, and maybe we'll inflate it a bit. It's supposed to go even higher than that. Obviously, I'm working very dirty right now, which means I'll need to come back to it and clean up a lot. But what I'm trying to do right now is just get the base in, so I have something to work with. Oh, right. The model is coming along nicely, Layla. Thank you. Layla, could you get some advice on how to sculpt really clean indented lines? Example from line... from frown lines. I always seem to get very inconsistent depths and widths. Indented lines. Well, let's say, yeah, this brush will do. Let me just quickly fill the object. So you said the depth is inconsistent, and width. I usually turn on lazy mouse if I really need to like go on for long. And usually it's pretty consistent. It might be something to do with your tablet if the pressure is jumping up and down. Lazy mouse is my way to go. As you can see. There's also another way. if you really need to get something very straight, you can do it with curves. So this one is Deco Curve Drag. I would like maybe adjust it. Let's say if I needed to go from here, here. Oh, it's a bit, yeah. Basically, this could work. Oops. Yep. Sorry, I lost all of my tabs for a second and I was like, how did I do that? Yeah, so basically either with a lazy mouse or check your tablet or the Deco brush, Deco curve drag or curve dot. Oof. I hope this helps. What is your art station? Right. Oh my god, I don't know how to show it, but Layla Viscu is my art station. It's the same everywhere. YouTube, Instagram, all the same. The concept is sick. Thank you. I mean, the concept is sick. Sorry. Yeah, I actually found it on Making Off when Zeri was introduced as a champion. I think they made like a making off, which is cool for body proportions and really cool for the clothing. Again, I think I mentioned it before, I'm gonna go differently with her face and her hair a little bit. I want more of a flowy hair and more of this kind of face. But yeah, it's really cool reference for the jacket. Okay. Sorry, I meant problems on armpits in her jacket. Oh, true. It might become a problem if I don't separate them. Yeah. I mean, it might be worth it lifting it up at the moment, like so. But I really like modeling in A pose, but really it's flexible. I usually pose my character before baking. So like, well, not pose. I lift their arms up. Sometimes I open the mouth if I really want to like texture the inside lip. So this whole thing can come a bit later. But yeah, good point. Do you retouple your stuff or you keep a low copy of them? I do, actually. But, well, this mesh's got an okay topology, but obviously the head is not attached yet. So I'll need to manually go in and do that later on. Right now, I'm pretty sure head is like, yeah, it's a Z-remesher topology. Thanks, Layla. I'll check my tablet settings. Yeah, do that. Are you a gamer? Yes, I am. I am a gamer. If you can say so. I really like open world RPGs. Currently replaying Breath of the Wild on my Switch before the second one comes out. Recently played Horizon Forbidden West. Replayed Witcher. Nier Automata. Also just naming games from last year. And stuff like that. So I guess I am a gamer. What country are you from? I'm from Moldova. You're cute, thank you. Did you saw the game Kenna? I think you would love the style of it. Kenna and the something spirits? Bridge of Spirits? Is that the one? With the girl with the dark hair and blue eyes? I saw the making of it and the game of play of it. It looks so good. Yes, yes, I did see it. I haven't played it. Is it on PC? Okay, could you please tell me your approach of hard surface and ZBrush? How would you do Doomslayer armor? First, give some basic forms by Dynamesh sculpt, then sphere retop, then add details by Zero modeler. Z-sphere retop. The Dynamesh sculpt, yes. Retop. I actually wouldn't retop with Z-spheres. I would just use Zero mesher. And like I would define my groups very well. So like all the planar changes, let's say it's some sort of actually I don't know what Doomslayer armor is. Just guessing it's from Doom. Oh yep. It is. Okay, yep. It's actually quite organic. So I would start with the base mesh of the actual guy who's inside of it. A male base body. Or female, depending what you're doing. But it would really help you with figuring out the proportions right. If you don't do the base mesh first, it can really sidetrack you. Yeah, I would mask on the mesh, then do an extract, and then dynamesh it, and then would use a lot of H polish and trim dynamic to create those hard creases. And once I'm happy with it, I would highlight areas. It's easier to show. So I would like mask it out on the body, on his chest, then go to extract like with this sort of thickness, and then dynamesh it. Just because I like dynamesh, you can do Sculptris Pro if you want. Then trim dynamic, H polish, polish by groups, clay polish could do a very good job as well on something like this. Define the edges. And then, yeah, again, I would select like the edge as its own polygroup, like I would mask it and hit Ctrl W to create a polygroup. Another polygroup for the top, and then smooth out the transition between two polygroups with polish by groups and deformation. And then I would run it through Zero Mesher a couple of times until I get a shape that I'm happy with. I do it for my diploma right now. Appreciate your answer. You're welcome. I'm glad I could help. Hi. Will you marry me? No, sorry. I think I answered that before. No offense, but I've got a part. Alright. She's got some really cool sleeves. Right now they're a bit too wide. Okay, local symmetry turned on. If you guys don't know, if you have it turned off, it will start scaling towards the center of the object. If you have it turned on, it will take into account your gizmo and it will treat it as the center of, well, not the object, but the selected area of interest. Okay, we scaled it down. And I'll do the same trick we did on the collar. Root, polyloop. Okay, so it's sort of getting there. Very slowly though. Hi, hello. How do you know why my project don't stop saying undo history? Will be auto-deleted. Even though I try to export my mesh in a new project, I still reappear after a couple of times. Don't stop saying undo history will be auto-deleted. It might have something to do with you running out of space on your C disk. Or the project is just so heavy. Maybe you have so many subdivisions, like millions and millions of polygons. That's when ZBrush is like saying, hey, I really need that VRAM or whatever. And they're like, I'm gonna delete the undo history because you're trying to make me work under these impossible conditions. Basically, yeah, it's either your mesh or your computer. So maybe bring down the poly count and see if that helps. It only happens to me when I have a very high res scene, like subdivision 9 or 8 on an already dense mesh. Will it be I have just 16 gigabytes of RAM? Should be enough. I have 32. I'm like 30 millions poly. 30 millions might be the problem. Try maybe z-remeshing your mesh. You might not need 30 millions. If you can, and then reprojecting all the details that you've got. That would be the easiest solution I can think of right now. Whoa, you're beautiful. Thank you. Layla, hello again. Hello. Okay, thanks. Hi Layla, hello. Layla, did you start the body with a base mesh or from a sphere? At some point there was a sphere, and then I modeled it, and then I reused it for this project. So at some point, yes. For this project, no. I used my base mesh that I had. Can you post the link to your art station? I don't think you can see my links. So just Layla Viscu. I'm the only one with that name. Okay, I'm now realizing that's even puffier at the back. Can you put okay, how can I see the tutorial from the beginning? I cannot find. Sorry, it's not a tutorial, and there wasn't a beginning on the ZBrush channel. I did it at my own time, and because I feel very passionate about this project and I really, really want to finish it, I decided to sculpt with you guys here and share tips on the creation process. There's a long way to go, like her jacket, her boots, her hair, her gloves, and her weapon. So you're gonna see it here in the next stream, because this one is coming to an end in a few minutes, because I need to get ready for work. Also, do you use IMM for the hands? No, maybe. Sometimes I do when I'm lazy, so I don't blame you guys, but it's nice to do studies of hands just to know what they look like, how to sculpt them. But totally for production, if I'm doing something at work, I'll use IMM hands just because it saves me time. Do you guys play League of Legends? What are your favorite champions? You can drop it in the chat. I don't play League of Legends personally, but I really like the designs of their champions. And I just like looking at them. And at their different skins and stuff. Kassadin. Who's Kassadin? Ooh. Moody. Nice. Cool armor. Man, I love their color theory and like color combinations that they use for their characters. It's just so good, so rich. I used to play Dota 2 quite a lot, but the community was so toxic that I had to leave. Oh no, is it less toxic in League of Legends? Trindamere is that a champion as well? It is. Whoa. This one's cool as well. He's like a Viking? Maybe. Man, I regret asking you guys. Because I'm gonna find more stuff that I want to create. But I really need to finish this one first. I don't play LOL, but I'm excited for Resident Evil 4 remake. Leon's face model is so attractive. Again, I didn't play Resident Evil. I'm really bad with horror stuff. Gives me nightmares. But I've seen models and I think I know who Leon is. Their splash art are insane. Yeah. Ma'am, can you talk me some tips for ZBrush beginner? Sure. Start with something small. Don't pick a concept like this, because you'll go insane trying to create it as your first job, as your first concept or sculpt. Pick something smaller, maybe like a small cute animal or a prop. Can be like a sword, or can be something chibi and small, nothing that will overwhelm you. And then start learning by watching different tutorials and streams of artists who share tips, and slowly start working on your character. I'd say start there. Do you know of any good tutorials for someone starting to learn ZBrush? Don't know tutorials, but there are some courses. Shane Olson does a stylized characters course. Polygon, he's got this Appeal Academy, or I might be wrong. Yeah, just Google Polygon or Google Shane Olson courses. They obviously have to pay for them. But if you don't want to pay, you can always watch those guys sculpt on YouTube and watch their streams here. It will also give you a huge boost. Do you use a graphics tablet with or without display? With a display. It's a Huion Canvas 22. If I could, I would show it, but then I don't think I'll be able to put my camera back on. Yeah, just it's basically here. I'm sculpting on the screen. Nikolai Naidenov beginner tuts are very good. Yeah. Michael Pavlovich also's got, I believe, some beginner friendly tutorials. and he's very technical. How do you do likeness? Because I have tried, but it looks always different, not same at all. Likeness is one of the hardest things to achieve, purely because of the references that you use. Usually people do likenesses of models or some stars or actors. And the thing with actor photography is that you'll find one photo that is really high res, amazing, and then you find another photo from a profile or a back view or whatever. And it's already from a different photographer, and they used a different camera with a different camera lens, so the face becomes distorted. So on one photo, the face can look very wide, and on the other can look narrow or smaller or longer. Sorry. So getting a bunch of reference helps kind of equalize like the discrepancies between the photos, and like analyzing it hardcore, and also knowing your basics. You shouldn't get into likeness studies if you've never modeled as like a head before. I would just recommend modeling a few heads, sculpting a few heads, and just bodies first. Give me a second. Sorry, had to sneeze. Art Heroes Academy have a likeness and stylist course that are great as well. Well, here you go. Google those. Learning Maya software for Mac, and my next software is ZBrush, so tell me which type of model I can use. I would say start from scratch, from a sphere, and start pulling and pushing shapes to achieve what you want. And pick a concept that you like. Something simple again. I feel like once you start going into 3D, most of the software work around same principle. They do. Although a lot of people complain that ZBrush is like no other 3D software because of its UI. And it's true. To an extent, it's different. But nothing that cannot be learned, really. The Yuka. So yeah, I can say that it's not my mistake. Yeah, you can say so. But it also takes practice. I just bought the Canvas 16 Pro. Do you think it will be better with the 20? I personally found 16-inch tablets to be too small for ZBrush. I had a Wacom Cintiq 16, and I'm currently selling it. But it doesn't mean it won't work for you. Try it. It's my personal preference, and there wasn't much of a price jump with Huion canvas, Huion tablets. So I decided to go for the bigger one. It was a pleasure watching your stream. Have a good night. Thank you. You have a good night as well. Yeah. Oh well. Okay guys, we're gonna end here. I know I haven't done much. Just got the base done. Hopefully next stream I'll talk less. And you guys can just watch me sculpt. Not to say that talking to you wasn't pleasurable, it was really fun. You guys were really active today, so that's so cool. I'm gonna get going because I need to get ready for work. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I will continue working on this character next stream for sure. We'll add all the tubing to her jacket. Hopefully we'll block out this thing, whatever it is. If you guys know, let me know next stream what it is. And then if we have time, we'll block out her hair or her shoes. Yeah. Sorry, you have more questions, but I really need to go, otherwise I'll be late. So please save them for later. Save them for the next stream next Monday. Thank you for all your kind words. The hair looks great. Have a good day. Thank you. Dang it, it was so fun to watch. Thanks. I got like 2 things done, but it's still better than nothing. Have a good one. Cheers. Yeah. Again, thank you so much, and I'll catch you on the next stream. And I forget to say it, but follow me on Instagram if you want, or our station. It's the same name, Layla Viscu. You can find me everywhere. Okay. Have a good day and night. Bye.